Are you curious if your business idea would attract investor funding? If so, then you've arrived at the right video, as I will break down the core elements of product market fit and give you guys very clear and tangible examples to help you position your idea to get funded. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to Market and Hustle, where we simplify marketing so that you can grow your digital influence and your business. My name is Zaryn, and on this channel, we break down marketing strategies, digital hacks, and I even share with you guys business insights that I've gleaned in my career from freelancing to corporate advertising. So if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. So you're looking to become the next big startup, the next big app. Regardless of the reason or the business, there is a framework in the startup world called product market fit that will help you to understand if you are positioned to succeed, and if you're not, will help you self-correct and move in the right direction. Now, there is four main components. As you can see them behind me, you have the market, the product, the team, and time. At the end of the video, I'm gonna give you guys a complete example so we can crystallize the entire learnings. But first, I wanna start off with focusing on these tenets. And like I said, at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you guys a case study of a brand that was able to go from startup, from an idea, all the way up to getting acquired for $1 billion in under 5 years. And they did a terrific job applying this. So the market, this is the number one thing. This is the most important part of the recipe. Why? Because investors wanna make sure that they're putting their money into a place that has a lot of people that could potentially purchase and is growing, because it's more likely that they're gonna get a return for their dollars. So one of the most important things for your market is scale. It has to be scalable. There has to be a lot of people that could potentially buy from you. Now, a perfect example of a market is the cannabis industry. In the United States, we have a lot of states that are legalizing marijuana, and because there's approximately 46 million Americans that recreationally use marijuana, we have a very sizable market, and because a lot of states are legalizing it, it's growing. So investors are looking at the cannabis industry as a major opportunity in the United States. Now, the second part of the equation is that the market has to have a problem. They have to have a problem that your business is gonna solve. Because at the end of the day, all businesses do is basically create products that solve problems. So for example, if you are bored, or you get home and you're tired, Netflix solves your entertainment needs. How? On-demand content. Now, if you need to message people in another country, WhatsApp. It's an app that solves a communication need. If you're traveling to a new city and need a place to stay and all the hotels are booked, Airbnb provides you with lodging needs. It meets your lodging needs. So again, at the end of the day, your product is gonna solve a problem that the market has. Now, it's not just about finding the market and then having a product that can solve it. You need a differentiator, a unique selling proposition, something to stand out. Your product either needs to be remarkable, or it has to solve a problem that currently doesn't have a solution. Now, if in the vein of being remarkable, you have to do things better than your competition. Obviously, a key element is, having a differentiator. Again, something that sets your brand apart from the rest. And I don't mean something that's like a little bit better. It has to be significantly better. So just to crystallize this, I'm gonna give you two examples. Number one, Walmart. So in the United States, they are the largest retailer. They do over 500 billion this last 2018 fiscal year they did in revenue. Now, a traditional departmental store, they have a lot of different products, but Walmart was able to do something different because they scaled their inventory nationally, and they were able to get better supply chain contracts. So they were able to offer their products at a lower cost. Thus their differentiator being variety at a low cost. Another example is one of my favorite brands, Tesla. They are an electric car manufacturer, and they revolutionized the car manufacturing industry by making electric vehicles that were fast and sexy. Now, if you think about it, before Tesla, what did we have? The Toyota Prius, the Nissan Leaf. Most of these cars turned consumers off. Tesla saw this as an opportunity, and what did they do? They decided to make cars that looked better and performed better in every sense of the word. So now that we're a little clear on what I mean when I'm saying a differentiator, let's shift to talk about economics. So what do I mean when I say good economics? Essentially, the price for your product has to be so that the market will bear it. They're willing to pay for it, and it has to have enough of a cushion of your cost of goods sold. So how much does it cost for you to make one product? Additionally, you have to think about the spread. So just to crystallize this a little bit more, if you sell an online product for $25 and your cost of goods sold is $10, that spread, the $15 in between, is what you have to cover all your business expenses. That is what your business lives on, what it operates on. So, to pay for marketing, operations, tech, legal fees, you have to make sure that the price of your product can be one where the market will pay for it and then you can still run a business. Now, is this enough? No. You need more than a good product and a growing market that's sizable. You need a team that can execute against the opportunity. And if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're probably the head of this team. You're the founder, the entrepreneur, and it is your job to essentially bring a product to market. But you need a team to do that. You need systemization, you need production, you need marketing, you need all of these key activities. You being the founder, your job is to basically identify the problem, build the vision for the company, and then organize a team around you. Key people that you can bring together under a unified vision to attack the opportunity. Now, you want people that complement you. They have complementing capabilities. So if you're a great marketer, maybe you want someone that's good with tech. You also need people that are reliable and have a track record of executing on projects. So these are, a few thought starters to think about when you're thinking about your team early on. It's, can these people get the job done? And do they have capabilities that are going to help build the company that are outside of what I'm good at? Now, I wanted to shift into timing. This is so important, and this is honestly like the unwritten rule. Timing has a lot to do with luck. Think about MySpace, the first, I guess you could call it the first modern age social media platform. It came out in the early 2000s before the smartphone revolution, the iPhone revolution really took off. Think about where MySpace would be if it came out in the time where smartphone adoption was already there or was, on the cusp. Versus Facebook, they came out at a great timing. MySpace already came into the market. People were somewhat familiar with this concept of social networking. It was just at a better time. There was more awareness, more adoption, and then the technology was ramping up. So timing is a very, very big factor. It's not always something that's going to be in your control, but it's something that you definitely want to think about. Another example is if you think about augmented reality and VR. These are technologies that are being developed, and the technology might be there, but the consumer, might not. So something to think about. Anyways, at this point, I want to talk to you guys about a product that executed, a brand, a case study that executed all this on point and became a $1 billion unicorn. So let's jump into that. This is a brand that's differentiated at its core. It's a startup from 2012, Dollar Shave Club, that disrupted Gillette's 72% market share of the personal grooming industry. So basically what they do is that they make quality razors and they send them to you, to your house in the mail, and they're cheap. But before we jump into it, let's first identify the market problem. Now, number one, experience. There was a problem when men were shopping for razors. It's a terrible consumer experience, actually men and women. If you go to the store, if you go to CVS or Dwayne Reed, you have to get a clerk to help you get the razor because it's behind a plexiglass, and it's just like a ridiculous process just to go buy, razors. Now, the second part of it was price. Name brand razors are still very expensive. If you go to a drugstore or retail store, they're just absurdly high. I used to pay like 15 bucks for Gillette at Walmart. So Dollar Shave Club did is said, basically, we're gonna come in with a product that is good quality and cheap. $1 a razor, you can actually buy better quality razors that are a little bit more expensive. And what Michael Dublin, the founder, really was thinking about is not just creating a company that makes shaving supplies, but building this out to be like a full-scale men's club with a subscription-based, approach and some personality so that people can identify with it. So messaging was really important. Now, if we fast forward from that 2012 Dollar Shave Club launch, they ended up growing subscribers aggressively, getting up to 1.1 million subscribers because they delivered on a product market fit. And their team was able to execute against the opportunity. Now, according to an article on entrepreneur.com, by 2015, about 4 years after Michael Dublin started this company, web sales for shaving doubled industry-wide. There were 263 million. And then the following year, Dollar Shave Club was the #1 razor company with 51% of the market share compared to Gillette's 21.2%. So that's a big deal. Eventually, Dollar Shave Club was bought out in an acquisition from Unilever for a whopping $1 billion. So that's pretty epic. Round of applause for Dollar Shave Club. But in recap, everything was there. There was a market with a very clear problem, which was the experience and overpriced razors. They were able to deliver a product that was cheaper, better economics, and just as good as the quality. And you had a team that was able to execute on the opportunity. Now, Michael Dublin, his background was that he worked in media and he had some experience building websites. And the way that this whole thing kind of came about was the father of a friend who was an importer that he met in California said basically, hey, I have a shipment of like 200,000 razors that I'm trying to get rid of. And he was like, I heard you know how to work in the internet. Can you help me out? Michael Dublin had some experience doing video marketing, and he was very successful at putting together a guerrilla marketing campaign with some of his stand-up comedy humor that he picked up over the last 10 years of doing stand-up comedy. And then as he was able to get his first series of funding, which he got $1 million, he was really strategic on how he deployed his marketing. He waited the week before South by Southwest, which is a huge tech conference, and he knew that the news cycle was that there was like a lull and a lot of journalists were looking to talk about something tech related. So he made his announcement around that time that they received some funding, and at the same time he dropped an amazing YouTube guerrilla video marketing campaign that just took off, went viral. I think it had 26 million views the last time that I checked it out. So there was some, effect of timing there. Another effect of timing was that by 2012, we already had Netflix. People were comfortable with Netflix, Amazon Prime. There was already some subscription businesses, and people were just generally more comfortable with this concept, although they were one of the first, if not the first, direct-to-consumer subscription-based models that came out at that time. So they were definitely at the forefront. All in all, congrats to Dollar Shave Club. They had everything, that they really needed. And again, these are principles that you should be using when thinking about your business and your product and the market. Doesn't mean that it's exclusive to just these things on this board. This is more of just a place for us to start having a conversation and thinking about what's important when, bringing a product to the market. Hey, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in once again to Marketing Hustle, where we simplify marketing so that you can grow your digital influence and your business. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, we just created a Marketing Hustle Facebook group where we're going to be sharing exclusive content such as downloadables and strategy decks and things that could really help you on a day-to-day basis to continue growing, making more money, and getting one step closer to your vision and to your business and to your dream, whatever it is. So be on the lookout. I'm going to toss a link below in the description. And as always, until the next video, peace.